For decades, those ruins in northern China were believed to be mere remnants of the Great Wall, until archaeology revealed something far more unsettling: a lost city, older than classical Chinese civilization itself. What secrets did they hold, and what were the skulls found within? The Shimao site, dating from between 4,200 and 3,700 years ago, was a large prehistoric settlement in China, protected by stone walls, covering approximately 4 hectares, with distinct areas reflecting an organized and hierarchical society. Among the rubble were numerous jade objects, discs, swords, and scepters, a material neither local to nor characteristic of the Great Wall. The arrival of Chinese archaeologists revealed that the walls actually belonged to a vast, fortified city. The excavations unearthed more than 9.6 kilometers of walls, a 70-meter-high pyramid, an inner sanctuary with painted murals, abundant jade artifacts, and evidence of human sacrifice. Researchers discovered 70 stone reliefs depicting snakes, monsters, and hybrid beings, iconography similar to that of the later Chinese Bronze Age. Carbon dating indicates that Shimao is about 4,300 years old, making it 2,000 years older than the Great Wall and 500 years older than the classical Chinese civilization of the Central Plains. The city flourished between 2,300 and 1,800 BCE for nearly 5 centuries and was then abruptly abandoned. No ancient Chinese text mentions a city of this size so far north of the supposed cradle of Chinese civilization. Spanning 400 hectares, Shimao is the largest known Neolithic settlement in China and displays cultural and technological influences from the northern steppe that would impact later dynasties. Along with other prehistoric sites inland and along the coast, it is forcing historians to rethink the origins of Chinese civilization, broadening its geographical scope and acknowledging early external influences. For archaeologists, it is one of the most important discoveries of the century and key to understanding the early formation of the Chinese state. Located in the arid hills above the Tuwei River, Shimao was conceived as a fortified city in a border region prone to conflict between steppe herders from the north and farmers from the Central Plains. On the highest hill, the elite built an oblong, 20-tiered pyramid, visible from across the city. Although it was half the height of the Great Pyramid of Giza, its base was 4 times larger. At its summit was an 8-hectare palace complex with its own water supply, craft workshops, and probable ritual temples. From this pyramid extended a network of inner and outer walls, an early urban design that would be repeated in later Chinese cities. The construction of the fortifications required 125,000 cubic meters of stone, equivalent to 50 Olympic-sized swimming pools, an exceptional undertaking for an estimated population of 10,000 to 20,000 inhabitants. This scale suggests that Shimao exerted control over satellite settlements. In northern Shanxi, more than 70 settlements from the Long Shan period have been identified, 10 of them in the Tuwei River Basin, which would have provided labor and social support. The defenses of Shimao are notable for their technical sophistication with barbicans, deflector gates, bastions, and Mamian-type structures designed to expose attackers to fire from multiple angles, a model that would become standard in Chinese defensive architecture. Within the walls, cypress beams used as structural reinforcement were discovered, dating back to around 2300 BC, a technique previously thought to be exclusive to the Han Dynasty. More than 2,000 years later, the most disturbing find appeared beneath the eastern wall: 80 human skulls, grouped in 6 pits with no associated bodies. 2 pits near the east gate contained exactly 24 skulls each, indicating ritual decapitations linked to the construction of the wall, considered the oldest known example of human sacrifice in China. Forensic analysis indicates that almost all the victims were girls, likely prisoners of a rival group. According to archaeologist Li Min, this ritual violence was unprecedented in early China and foreshadows the mass sacrifices of the Shang civilization centuries later. The East Gate also held strong symbolic significance. Its walls were decorated with rhomboid carvings evoking large, watchful eyes and thousands of inlaid black and dark green jade, intended to ward off evil and display the power and wealth of the elite. Since Shimao lacked local sources of jade, this abundance suggests long-distance trade networks. Despite its seemingly remote location, Shimao maintained extensive contact with other cultures, exchanging goods, ideas, and technologies with regions as far away as the Altai Steppe and the shores of the Yellow Sea. These exchanges reinforce the idea that Chinese civilization has multiple origins and did not arise solely in the central plains of the Yellow River. Elements such as stone architecture, ox and sheep herding, and metallurgy show clear steppe influences that were integrated into later Chinese culture. The extent of these networks is reflected in the imported artifacts, including jade and alligator skins from southern China, likely used in ritual drums, indicating the importance of music in palace ceremonies. Another significant find was 20 identical bone pieces, identified as the oldest known examples of the mouth reed Jewish harp. According to Sun Zhou-Yang, Shimao was the place of origin of this instrument, which later spread among more than 100 ethnic groups, providing clues about early cultural and population flows. Since only a small part of the site has been excavated, discoveries continue. Among them are human busts and anthropomorphic statues that would have decorated the walls near the East Gate, considered unusually innovative representations for their time, although their meaning remains uncertain. Other major questions also persist, such as the city's original name, its economic organization, its relations with neighboring cultures, and the possible existence of a writing system. Regarding the abandonment of Shimao after some 500 years of occupation, researchers rule out sudden natural disasters. Although warfare may have played a role, the main cause appears to have been climate change. After an initial warm and humid period in the 3rd millennium BCE, between 2000 and 1700 BCE, a rapid cooling and aridification occurred. Lakes dried up, forests were lost, the desert expanded, and ultimately its inhabitants migrated. Although the site remains covered in dust and silence, after 4,300 years, Shimao is no longer a forgotten city. Its ruins have revealed an exceptional set of data that challenge the traditional view of the origins of Chinese civilization, and future excavations promise to provide even more information.